Hi everybody, and welcome again to ZCodeSystem. Here we developed automated systems to help you win big. Doesn't matter what sport you're betting, we've got everything for you right here. I'm going to get into some NHL action for March the 3rd, but before I do, I'm going to invite you to join, and you'll have access to the VIP club section. And of course, you see all these tabs across the top. These will all help you make your picks. Okay, so there's just 6 weeks left in the season. There's a lot of interesting matchups coming up, and we take a look at, excuse me, 4 of them for March the 3rd. 2 of them are interstate rivalries, so they're going to be pretty interesting ones to watch. So we're going to get started here. The first one we want to look at, there's 10 games slated. We're going to take a look at 4. The first one is the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. In this battle here, you see that the two teams are interstate, of course, and Rangers and Islanders, and they have a long history of games between each other. So right now, the Rangers come in 3 points ahead of the Islanders in the Metropolitan Division. You see right now the Islanders are ice cold up 2-4 over the last 6, and the Rangers are burning hot 4-2 over their last 6. If you take a look at the trend as far as the over/under goes, you can see that the teams here, the Islanders, are last 6 games over the line, and you can see, excuse me, that was the Rangers last 6 over the line. And as far as the Islanders go, 4 out of the last 6 over the line. So you would tend to think that this might be a higher scoring game. The score prediction, but it's only at 55% right now, has the Rangers in a 2-goal win, 4-2. On the power ranks indicator, you can see the Islanders down here. They are at +7, and the Rangers are steady over the last couple of days, and they're at +19. In the head-to-head matchup, they played back on February the 25th, and it was a Rangers win by 5-1. And they also played back on November 3rd. It was also a Rangers win 5-2. So they have dominated so far, winning both games by a combined score of 10-3. If you take out the volatility oscillator, how stable are the two teams? You see the Islanders are very inconsistent with regard to their favored underdog status, sitting at -1. They've been pretty inconsistent all year round, while the Rangers are more on the consistent path, and they're at +13. Both teams are slightly over 500 in terms of home and road records, with the Rangers being the home team right now, slightly over 500, the Islanders slightly over 500 on the road. So I like the Rangers this time in another multiple goal margin victory, and I think it's going to be a higher scoring game, so let's go over the line. Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers. So in this one here, you see that two teams are near the top in the division, and in this interstate rivalry here, you can see both teams are playing very well. You look at this, burning hot for both teams. It is Tampa Bay, winners of their last 6, and Florida 4-2 over their last 6. If you look at the score prediction, it's Florida 4, Tampa Bay 3, with a high level of confidence in the prediction at 90%. If we look at the over/under between the two teams, as of late, we can see that they're trending on opposite sides of the line over the last 2. Tampa Bay under in the last 2 and Florida over. The long-term trend has been both teams over the line. If you take a look at the power ranks indicator, you can see a complete upward climb from Tampa Bay from +9 back a month ago up to +31. And you can see the roller coaster up and down trend for Florida. They're now up again at +28. If you look at the head-to-head matchups between the teams, back on December 23rd, it was Tampa Bay 4-0 over Florida. And that was actually, they played the day before, also December 22nd, and that was Florida winning that one 4-2. So the teams are 1-1 so far this series in the head-to-head matchup. Right now, the scoring differential edge here is +53 to +30 in favor of the Lightning. And Tampa Bay is relatively mediocre on the road at 13-13-2, while Florida is very good at home at 18-10-2. And these are the totals predictor, which I already talked about, but you can see graphically displayed here as well. The volatility oscillator shows how consistent the teams have been performing, and you can see both teams relatively consistent. Earlier in the season, you see neither team very consistent regarding their favored underdog stats. We see the upward trend as of late puts them in the more consistent category at +10 and +9. So in the end, I like Florida at home. I think this will be by a single goal. I'm going to pass on the over/under. Next one is San Jose and Toronto, teams heading in the opposite directions. You see San Jose, dead stats, worst record in the league, losers of their last 6, and Toronto is 5-1 over their last 6, and they are burning hot. And they are right in the thick of the playoff race near the top of the conference. The score prediction is for Toronto by a 6-2 margin. Confidence in the prediction is very high at almost 70%. And you see the over-under trend. The teams have been involved in games over the line in 8 out of the last 12. On the power ranks indicator, not a surprise to see San Jose at the bottom. They've been at the bottom pretty much every day since the end of January, while Toronto is up near the top at plus 30. In the head-to-head matchup, they have not yet met this season, but last year it was a complete blowout. Toronto winning 7-1 back on January of 2024. The scoring differential edge is just absurd at plus 20 for Toronto and minus 71 for San Jose. There's really no indication that San Jose can stay with them at all. I like Toronto with at least 3 goals in a game over the line. And the last one we want to look at is very similar in status as far as the way the two teams are playing. It's Los Angeles and Chicago. Chicago has the second worst record in the league, and they are just 1 of 5 over the last 6 with dead status. And the Kings battling for the top spot. They're third right now in the Pacific, but it's a close battle for the top 3 teams, and their average status at the moment and 4-2 over the last 6. One thing that is similar between the teams is that their trends in the over-under. 5 out of the last 6 games for both teams have been over the line. The score prediction has Chicago surprisingly winning this one 3-2. Confidence in the prediction is 70%. I would take a look back at this because this is going to change quite a bit probably between now and game time. In fact, it changed just over the last half hour when I looked at this previously. So it's going to change again. On the power ranks, you can see Chicago near the bottom of the league at plus 1. Only San Jose is less, and Los Angeles is at plus 23. In the head-to-head matchups, surprisingly, it was Chicago winning on the road in Los Angeles as a big road underdog, but that was back on November 2nd, and that was by a 4-3 score. But I don't think that's going to play an effect in this one here. I really do think this is going to be the Kings by at least 2 goals. I can't see Chicago winning twice against the Kings in the same season, particularly the status of the two teams right now. So there you have it. Those are the games for the NHL for March 3rd. Happy betting, and we will see you next time.